Hi YouTube, in today's video I'm going to make a few more changes to the van just in preparation for leaving for Vancouver. And one of those things is turning this escape hatch into a moonroof with some white Lexan. This is my chimney and I've just removed the cap here. I've basically sealed it off with a high heat silicone, but it's not the best. Under heavy rainfall it will leak, and I've done many applications of it. You can buy these cones that are made of like a red high heat silicone that seal it off, but they need a higher chimney stack than I have and they're really expensive. So I'm going to jerry-rig something out of this fridge bowl cover thing that I bought. It was super cheap. You can put it in the oven and what have you, microwave. So it is heat resistant, so we'll give it a shot. Basically I'm just going to make a sleeve from it that comes down and connects onto the roof itself. So the pipe is 5 inches wide. You can kind of see a mark on this side, and I've cut out a 4-inch circle here. So I've just cleaned up the area around this pipe with some wire brushes and some brake clean. So this was really easy to get on. I'm a little bit worried about that. I was kind of hoping that it would be harder, so it'd be a tighter seal, but we'll just see how it goes. So I've cut out this pretty janky aluminum ring here, and this is just going to act as something to put my screws through to compress this down. Okay, so I've just painted this black and I've drilled 8 holes in it here. There's one extra just left over from that was in the metal already, but that shouldn't make any difference to what I'm doing here. I've also trimmed down this silicone disc here so that it lines up with the edge of the black ring. Okay, so here's that ring screwed in with self-tapping screws. So on this side specifically, I've added a few more screws. This bit here goes over a bit of a lip, and the screws just weren't enough to keep this edge down tight as I'd like it, so I just added a few more in for extra security. My original plan was just to caulk around the edges, but I went a little bit overboard and I used up the rest of the tube of high heat silicone that I have, which is fine. This is already like a second layer because there's already that first layer there that works in normal conditions. So hopefully this will stand up to Vancouver weather. Okay, so this is actually somewhat cured. It looks nice and shiny. It won't stay that way, unfortunately. And I've just put the cap back on. That just has 3 little screws going through to keep it in place there. And so yeah, this is placed on. I'm a little annoyed by these little bits of blue that you can see through here, but that's kind of neither here nor there. It doesn't really matter. This seal should now be plenty good because this is sealed already just with pressure. Then it has that underneath of it. There's the other original seal. I think the reason why that one keeps coming loose is the vibration of the vehicle. So this here should compensate for that, and this nice giant lip here really solves this problem. This is something I've been wanting to take care of for a while, but those things like on sale are like $50 US, and they come up to like here, so I wouldn't be able to actually put it on. So this version here, we'll see if this works. I don't want to endorse it or say go ahead and try this until I've tried it for myself for a little bit with the fire going and all that stuff, you know, and road vibration and all that. But I'm pretty happy with the result as is today. We just got to wait a while to see if it actually works or not. Up here you can see these rivets on this bottom part have kind of pulled away. That's because this flops around a lot. So I'm going to try and repair that when I do this. My first basically mode of business here is to make the cuts for the Lexan, which I have. But I'm going to leave a strip of aluminum down here because this bar basically goes here. This will help support the Lexan, and it will also use to lock this because you need to be able to lock your roof. But without that metal there, it would just be holding on to the Lexan, and I think it would be better to have some little teeny bit of structure there. So you can see here that there's silicone around the existing rivets. I'm just removing that so I can get a nice flat surface. Okay, so I've actually managed to clear them all off, and because some of them are raised, some of them aren't, up like this, they're going to interfere. So I think what I'll probably do is I'll just drill them out and replace them with the bolts I was going to use to keep this down. Okay, so I've just drilled out where the rivets were, and I've also widened those holes so that these machine screws will fit through. Okay, I've marked out where I need to cut with the jigsaw. I'm now going to cut out those two panels. Okay, that process starts by me just cutting 2 holes like this so that I can fit my jigsaw in and then make the cuts. Okay, so there we have the holes cut. You can see that I bent a couple blades here, cutting this bottom corner. And I did actually make a bit of an oopsie. You can see over here, I cut into the edge there. But other than that, it's worked out fine. So I've just laid down my sheet of 23 by 23 Lexan. This is 3/16 thick, I believe, and it's a white all the way through, so it should just be translucent, obviously not transparent. You can't see into the van, which is the whole point. I can now use this to mark those holes from the other side. Okay, so I've marked the Lexan here. I'm drilling through onto these little 2x2s here, just so that it doesn't break when it goes through the other side of the Lexan. Yeah, so here it goes. Just like that. Okay, so this is finished. All the holes have been drilled in the Lexan. I'm now going to put a ring of butyl tape. This is just what you use when you put down a vent like this around the edge, and that should do it. Bubba, calm down. Bubba! Okay, so I've laid it out on the edges, which overlap here. Pressed it in. These ones here in the middle are basically going to be used as spacers. Okay, here we go. I've actually got them all down, and I made one mistake. Basically, I lost one screw, so that one's a little taller than the other ones. But here it goes. It lifts right up. Here it is from the other side. This is really ugly, but it's going to get covered up pretty quickly with this. Yeah. You can see here the Lexan looks really nice and shiny once you take that cover off. So I actually thought ahead, and I made some marks here where I put the butyl tape. And this is where I'm going to screw through to attach this. That just seems the best place to do it. Not only is there the spacer, but there's some extra waterproofing. So I've just taped this bar in place, and I've just made sure that it's in the correct position so that it will close perfectly and also be able to lock exactly the way I want it to be. Okay, so here you can see I put in 4 little screws. I want to add 2 more in the middle. I just want them to be the same type. And this is now attached here, locks and everything. So I'll show you what that looks like from the other side. Okay, so I'm just gonna lift this up, catch it like this. It comes in. That's a really nice light in, by the way. And then that just goes over and locks in place. Now this can't be opened from the outside. And it's secure. It also won't blow around in the wind or anything like that, or if I'm driving. So up like that. And up. I've added in these 2 screws, and I've also cleaned up the butyl tape along the edges here. Okay, so I've just added some silicone along these bolts here and as well as along the edge, which means that the skylight is finished. I absolutely love the light that comes through here. It's so, well, sunny, and that makes a huge difference in here. Another being who is enjoying this is Luna, because she went right underneath once I cleaned everything up and has been bathing in the sunlight right up until I tried to film her. Today's the first day that you are going to learn that this is a vehicle that can turn on. Isn't that right? Yeah? All right. I'm sorry about this. Yeah, she left. Hey, girl. It's okay. Yeah. It's okay, I know. It's a little bit scary. Come on. Come on out. Yeah. See? Nothing to be afraid of. Nothing at all. So she's really freaked out by this. Kind of was expecting that. She's acting sort of nervous and also a little bit affectionate right now. Tried giving her some treats and she's not really interested in them. That's kind of true for Luna though. Like she's not super food motivated. Hey, but I thought maybe, you know, reinforce it with, you know, oh, when the engine turns on, I get a treat. But yeah, maybe she's just not ready for that. So I'm just gonna leave it on for a couple more minutes and then I'll turn it off and we'll do this again tomorrow and the next day and just a little bit longer each time. Okay, okay. You can be, yes, yes. I know. All right. Okay, so here's day 2. I've played with her for a little toy. She's in her bed. She's got her chicken, which she likes. There we go. That's exactly what I want to see. So I will keep doing it this way from now on. I can barely believe this right now, guys. She is right on top of the engine. It's the part that's making the noise and all that. And yeah, you're being so good, aren't you? Yes, you are. So I just cleaned up some of the stuff up on this rack here in the cab, and that gave me a perfect place to add another bed for Luna. And she's up here. She's still very freaked out by the engine, and she wanted to get up high, and so she was scrambling all up over here. So I basically put this bed down here to give her a place that's hers, that's high up, that she can feel safe in. Of course, she also has this bed down here, and anywhere else that she wants, there's another like blanket down underneath there. So she has lots of options, but she seems to feel safest up high. So I put some of her bedding down here. This is actually the bedding that she came with from the SPCA. And hello. This is the neighbor's cat who looks very much like a very big Luna. Yeah, this is the bedding that she came with, so she likes it. We know that. Okay, so I just want to see what happens if I start the vehicle with her up in that bed, if she feels comfortable. She seems a little nervous right now. Oh, how are we doing there, girl? Yeah, she's up there. And she's turning around. Going back to bed, yes! Hey girl, yeah. See? When you have your own space, which is safe and up high, it's so much better. So much better. Also has a bit of a lip, that's good too, for when it's moving around, so. Yeah, this might be where she stays. We'll find out.